What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ today. It is the Senior Bowl, the Reese's Senior Bowl 2022. Very, very excited to be with you guys today. I had an opportunity to live stream with y'all. My wife is out with our daughter, and so the house is mine. And so I am here, and I'm going to be here the entire time. We're going to be watching the Senior Bowl. I'll be having it on an iPad, and I will comment on it throughout the game. But I'm really, really glad to have you guys with me. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're brand new here, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this after it airs, hope you consider checking out some of the channel's content. I'm very, very excited about this Senior Bowl, man. This is an outstanding opportunity for the New York Jets. I think that goes without saying. And Joe Grana, he says it here at the bottom of the screen. Hell yes, huge performance today to evaluate for our entire organization. I think that sums it up really, really nicely, man, because with 5 picks in the top 69, we really do have an opportunity here to land not only players that are playing today in the Senior Bowl, but just some really good football players in the NFL draft. And I think that I read the stat correctly. The New York Jets are coaching in the Senior Bowl for the first time in like 40 years or something incredible like that. So, it's awesome. And it's great to see, Robert Saleh will be able to watch him today. Ron Middleton is going to be the head coach for the national team for the New York Jets side of the coaching. Kev Chada, are you asking me which I prefer? I'm not a big Coors guy. I like Heineken. Heineken over Coors, if that is the question, sir. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments. What are some of your players that you're keeping an eye out for? Who are you excited to see? I think we all kind of have looked at Trevor Penning, in the practices, and he's been playing very, very aggressively. Trevor Penning, the offensive tackle from Northern Illinois, I believe, Northern Illinois University. So he's coming from a small school, and he's got an opportunity to play against some of the big boys from the other conferences. Will be really interesting to see how he does today. I'm also going to have my eyes on Devin Lloyd, the linebacker from Utah. Just an outstanding linebacker, would be an outstanding grab for the Jets. I mean, really, they would be incredible in this scheme. He's great in coverage, very, very athletic, and a really good tackler as well. Chad Muma from Wyoming, another linebacker, a guy that I'm really excited about. And I'm going to have my eyes all over him when he's on the football field. I'm also looking at some of these playmakers, and guys like Jahan Dotson, the Penn State wide receiver, is a guy that would be very intriguing. I think he's 5'11", just under 200 pounds. He would be another really good scheme fit for this offense. The only concern I have with a guy like Jahan Dotson is he a little bit of the same of what we already have in Elijah Moore, and do we really need 2 of that? I don't really see the big deal. I'm actually okay with getting a guy like Jahan and adding him to the group of weapons that we have on the team. So he would be a really interesting prospect. And then let's see here. We got John Hammond in the chat. He says the last time the Jets coached in the Senior Bowl, we drafted Marty Lyons and Mark Gastineau. That is a great fact. I had not heard that one. Please do it again. Yes. Oh my God. 2 should be in the Hall of Fame players right there. That's incredible. And a really good one to keep in mind today. We don't know who the players are that the Jets are coveting, but I saw just a few moments ago on my iPad, they interviewed Robert Saleh, and they said, what are some things you're looking for today? And he said, well, we're not going to talk about the players because that's supposed to be kept secret. And so they clearly have players they're coveting. And it's not a surprise. There are really good players at the Senior Bowl every year. And so it's going to be really interesting to see who they are smitten over. And we won't know for a really long time, which kind of sucks because that draft is still over 80 days away. All right, so Kev Chada, he says, going to keep my eye on Jermaine Johnson. That's the edge from FSU. Jalen Pitre, the safety from Baylor, I believe. Zion Johnson, the guard from Boston College. Christian Watson, Cole Strange, the tight ends. And I think that's where a lot of Jets fans' eyes are going to be looking today, because there are a lot of really good tight ends in this draft class, but also at today's Senior Bowl. There's a lot of really good ones. So let's see what Joe Grana says. He says Zion, Arnold, Ebiketie. I think I said that. Ebiketie. The edge from Penn State. I'm still trying to work on pronouncing his name correctly. Christian Watson as well. Ruckert will not be playing today, Joe Grana. So we got a report earlier in the week that he was excused. He had to leave the Senior Bowl. And the idea here is that he left and we didn't know what was going on. And today he sent out a tweet basically saying goodbye to I think a grandfather. So no Ruckert today. He will not play in the game. But for everything that I understand, he looked really, really good in practices. And the Jets had their eyes on him for sure. I can't imagine why they wouldn't. Numel, good to see you in the chat. Looks like a new face. Good to have you here, man. Thank you for checking out the channel. Hope you consider subscribing. He says, do you have a link for the Senior Bowl? So unfortunately with YouTube, I cannot legally stream the game on my Surface here. That would be completely against the law. So what I'm doing is leading a conversation as we watch the Senior Bowl together. It's on NFL Network, but no links. I don't have anything for you, unfortunately. Jaden Firmstone, good to see you in the chat. He says it starts in 10 minutes. Yeah, actually, and it's 8 minutes right now. The game starts at 2:30. New Mel, good to see, my man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Vern is fired up. He says, let's go. I agree, man. Here's the thing. The 2021 season was tough on all of us as Jets fans. And I think it's okay that we're excited about, the offseason, to put it simply. To be excited about what's coming our way this offseason, I think, is a great breath of fresh air, and we all deserve to be a little bit excited, in my opinion. So I'm with you, Vern. Let's be fired up. Let's have fun today. If you guys have not hit that like button, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button. Would mean a lot to the channel, would mean a lot to me. Let's see here. Kev chatted with a great question. He says, could Jermaine Johnson be Gastineau 2.0? Is he worth pick 10? So there was actually a guy on Twitter that was talking about taking him at 4 overall, which I think is out. It's way, way too early for that. Here's the thing. There are people that rise up the draft boards like a lot because of this game and because of these practices. My understanding was Jermaine Johnson going into this offseason was viewed as a early second round pick. And is there a chance that he could slide all the way up to 10? I don't know about that. I think that might be a little bit too high. But we've been hearing reportings about, Kayvon Thibodeau. Teams are really, really sketched out right now, apparently. I don't really buy that completely because I think that teams are just talking and blowing smoke. But can he rise all the way to 10? I don't know, man. I don't want to say no because nothing's impossible. But I'm going to go ahead and say right now, I'm going to say no. He's not worth the 10th pick. But, man, things can change real quick in the NFL. And in the draft season, things can just go bananas. So, Jaden Firmstone, am I going to put it up? I looked for a game tracker, and I didn't see one. There's no NFL.com game tracker. I went on to NFL.com just a moment ago and I checked for it. I can check one more time, but the only thing that I saw for a game tracker was for the Pro Bowl, which is really, really, really dumb. Why would anybody track the Pro Bowl? But yeah, so I can't put it up on the screen. Like I said, I am going to be watching it. I do have it on my tablet right here. I'm going to be watching that. And I'll be giving play-by-play, discussing what I see. You guys are hopefully watching it as well. And we can just talk about the game. Joe Grana, he says, interested to see Greg Dulcich. I don't know much about him, but I've heard he's flashed. I've heard really good things about Dulcich as well. I believe he's the UCLA tight end. If I'm wrong, correct me, guys. He has elite hair. If you haven't seen his hair, he has Troy Polamalu type of hair. So for that reason alone, he should be drafted early. John D. Lee, he says, I just subscribed. Jets, Jets, Jets. Really appreciate that, John. We're creeping up on 1,500 subscribers, actually, on the channel. So hopefully we can get to 2,000 before the draft. That would be just fantastic for what I've been working on and what the people that have been, on the channel, we've been working hard for. So I appreciate the support, man. It really does mean quite a bit. Vern, he says, something interesting from Saleh Senior Bowl presser. He says that Hall, Eccles, and Carter, Michael Carter II, will be in the upper echelon when they start finding the ball. We won't be going quarterback one. Vern, everything you just said is beautiful, music to my ears, and you might be right. But I will tell you that they lie like dogs. They lie like dogs. I'm not saying that he's lying here, and I'm not saying that those guys don't have the talent. But they are really good liars at this time of year. The coaches, the GMs, they lie right through their teeth. So I believe what he's saying, though, and I agree. If they do start to locate the football, we're going to start seeing some big plays. And I really think that's one of the things that Bryce Hall needs to work on, is getting his head turned around for pass breakups, for interceptions. We need to start seeing some turnovers on this defense. There's no doubt about it. It's a huge factor moving forward. Again, we got like 30 people in here. If you would not mind, go ahead and jet up that like button. Would really appreciate that, guys. And it is it's only a couple of minutes away now from the game. Getting pretty excited. I got it here on NFL Network. Kyle Craig, what channel is it on? I'm trying to find it on my TV. It's on NFL Network. So you will find it very easily. I don't believe it's being aired anywhere else. I don't think you can watch it online. I don't think you can watch it on NFL.com. ESPN's not doing it, so you're pretty narrowed in. You either have NFL Network or you don't. Is Jermaine Johnson a better prospect than Carl Laftis at this point? Speed and bend versus strength and technique. This is a great question. I don't know, man. That's a really, really good question. So Carl Laftis, I think, is projected to go earlier. But I prefer the speed and the bend of Jermaine Johnson to what you said for Carl Laftis, which is the strength and the technique. I have no idea. I think if I had to put a name right now, I would say Jermaine Johnson. I prefer him just based on the idea that I think he fits the scheme really nicely. And he kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Carl Lawson. Same type of size. The speed is certainly there. We got some really cool people in here. KD says, are Jets fans are they the most passionate fan base online? We have so many content creators. It's pretty awesome. That's a great question too, dude. I think we are. And if you go on to Twitter, which I'm on, by the way, NYJ today. If you go on Twitter, Jets Twitter is one of the most ravenous groups of Jets fans that you can find anywhere. I really believe that. So I agree with you, KD. It might be that way. We are a really strong fan base online, lots of content creators, and some really good people too. Like I've worked with some of these guys, Jake Asman, Green Bean I've had on the channel. They're all really, really good people. Straight 100s Jets. Oh, and I see some players on the field right now. Pitre from Baylor is out there, number 8. 76 tackles last year, 18 TFLs, 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, 7 pass breakups. Playmaker. Jalen Pitre, I'm not sure if we draft somebody like that, a safety early. That's a ball hawker. That's a playmaker. I'm down. Let's get some playmakers in the secondary. We got a Titans fan in here. That's pretty freaking cool. Steven Crocio or Crocio. Apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. He says, this Tennessee Titans fan is studying the Senior Bowl very closely. I think we all are, man. We all need all of the teams that aren't in the Super Bowl. Excuse me, apologies. All of the teams that are not in the Super Bowl, we all need to get better because we didn't make it to the big dance. And so it doesn't matter if you're picking first Or if you're picking 30th in the NFL draft, you did not make it to the Super Bowl. And so everybody needs to get a little bit better next year, no doubt. I appreciate you coming into the stream. Means a lot, man. Thanks for checking it out. And go Jets. Numel says, what do you think of the quarterbacks? I'll be honest with you, Numel. I have not studied them. I know Kenny Pickett from Pitt is a name that's really popular. Malik Willis, I believe, as well, is another name out there. I'm looking forward to watching them, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm not trying to like give you a really crappy answer here, but in my opinion, none of these guys are, of that upper echelon. None of them I don't think will go in the top 5. And it's really about who gets quarterback thirsty as we get closer to the NFL draft. Who's going to be the most desperate? So really interested to see, these guys play today. It's a great question that you asked. I'm looking forward to learning more about them. And I think that seeing them in a game like this is invaluable as a fan or as a scout. Just great opportunity to learn more about these guys. Thank you so much for the comment. I did not get to watch the Shrine Bowl. I did not. I'm one busy SOB, man. I wish I had more time to do more film breakdowns, more, scouting and watching a film of these guys. It would be really, really cool. Malik is going to rise. That's another reporting that I'm hearing. Listen, man, if he balls out today, there's no doubt that teams are going to be interested because we've seen it in the past. These guys, Russell Wilson played in the Senior Bowl, Dak Prescott played in the Senior Bowl, Josh Allen played in the Senior Bowl, and they played really well. So you're right. It could absolutely go way, way up. Curtis Morgan with the Luigi Me, right? Isn't that what that is? The Nintendo Me? Curtis Morgan, Niners fan here, looking at Jalen Pitre as a late day 2 guy. He might even go earlier, man. I could be wrong on that one, but he feels like one of those safeties that's going to go either late 1st or early 2nd. So, they got McBride on the screen right now. 90 receptions, 1,121 yards, only 1 touchdown, which is so crazy. He did not find the end zone a lot. Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver from South Alabama. Holy crap, look at this record. 178 receptions, 3,140 yards, and 22 touchdowns in his college career. Those are South Alabama records, so that's pretty cool. Have my eyes on him. Don't say that we need trade-ups. Kyle Craig, I can't help it, man. So there's a balance. In the NFL draft, I feel like you can't say no to any potential scenario, right? Like you can't say no to trading back if you get like a crazy offer of picks and it just is way beneficial if you move back. I think you can't say no. Here's Trevor Penning on the screen right now. This is a guy I'm going to be keeping my eyes on today. I want to see if he can play a game without getting a penalty. And then the same thing can be said if you have a great opportunity to trade up like we did with AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker. If you get an opportunity to move up for a guy that you feel super confident in, I think you just have to be really, really flexible in the NFL draft. I do hear what you're saying, though. You're saying don't go crazy and trade up for, whatever. Moving up for Kayvon Thibodeau, whatever it may be. I hear you, and I respect that. Not kicking off for 20 minutes. That's not what they said. Is that really what they said? 2:30 I thought was the kickoff time. That's baloney. Baloney. Well, regardless, we're going to talk about it because I got a million questions in this chat. Steelers fan, I like Kenny and Malik. Numel, that's a great thing. So you're really interested in the Senior Bowl because your team is definitely QB thirsty. Do you think your team will trade up? I think that's going to be one of the big topics of the offseason for the Steelers, no doubt. Joe Grana, I completely agree with this comment. I'm going to read it. In my opinion, Penning is being overrated. Look at how wide his hands always are. Defensive line, always getting to his chest early, and his game athleticism on the fly is slow, and the nastiness is only late. Couldn't have said it better. I do not like the fact that he is almost over the top with his nastiness. Like, you can be really physical and dominant as an offensive lineman without being an idiot. And he feels like one of those guys it's almost like he's pushing it too much. So I'm going to be interested in watching him today. If he plays a nice, clean game, and if he plays a really good football game today, I don't think there's any doubt his stock is going to go up. I think people are expecting him to have a pretty good game today. But I do not like the idea that he is going to play recklessly and, create a lot of penalties for our team. I just think that's not the kind of offensive lineman that I want on my football team. I guess if Joe Douglas would selected him, we would have to, believe and entrust in that decision, but I'm not sure about him. I think there's definitely some things he needs to work on as he goes to the NFL. Straight 100's Jets. He says, John, we need to hope that at least one of the quarterback prospects hit it out of the park. So in case we can't have Hutchinson or Thibodeau, that we can find a trade partner that wants to move up to get a quarterback. Pick 4 is good for that, but I actually think the better one might be pick 10. Because the football team, the Washington Commanders, that's the first time I've had to say that on a live stream. They are picking at 11. And they definitely could use a quarterback as well. So there's definitely some movement and some opportunity for teams to, potentially move up. And it might not be 4. It could be 10 as well. The Titans need trade downs? Probably, man. I don't know what their draft picks are like, but they probably could use, some cheap contracts, I would imagine. That would be my guess. Ooh, Ron Middleton has given a very, very passionate speech in the locker room right now. I like Ron Middleton. If you don't know who Ron Middleton is, he's the Jets tight ends coach, and he head coached the Jets team when Robert Saleh had COVID. And he did a really good job. I'm looking forward to watching him today. I think he's going to do an outstanding job. All right, to me, it looks like the game's about to kick off, so it shouldn't be 20 minutes. They are all standing on the sidelines here. So I imagine, and they are lining up for the kickoff here. So the game is about to go underway. And it is a beautiful day in Mobile, Alabama. It is 48 degrees, sunny. Oh my God, the kicker's name is Mevis, which was a name that we gave to Darrelle Revis for leaving us and going to the Patriots. All right, the kickoff is going off right now. And so the game is underway. The ball will be returned. They lateral it on the first kick return, and it doesn't do a whole lot. They return it to the 14-yard line. Yes. That's right, Joe Grana. Grant Rude, that is exactly right. This is exactly what everybody in these streams or anybody else's streams are. We are hungry and we are just ravenous football fans. All right, so here's the QB rotation. Malik Willis. Crap, I missed it. Malik Willis is out there first, so he gets the start. And he's under center, I formation, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Defensive lineman definitely jumped off sides there, it looked like. Malik Willis just threw it toward the sideline, and it was bobbled incomplete. Razzle dazzle, fantastic beginnings, definitely. What's up, Dele? My man, how you doing? Good to see you in the stream. Kev Chatta says, yeah, they called offsides on the defense, by the way. It was very blatantly offsides. They probably should have blown the play dead. It looked like he encroached first. If you guys have not done this yet, if you're a Jets fan, a Titans fan, a Rams fan, I don't care what fan you are, if you wouldn't mind going ahead and hitting that like button, I would really appreciate that. There's like almost 60 people in here right now. It would mean a lot to the channel if you go ahead and you hit that like button. It would help me a great deal. We now have Malik Willis, 1st and 5, shotgun formation, 2 wides. A running back tight end as well. It's a handoff to the running back for a gain of 1. You got it, Vern. That's right. Jet up that like button. Let's go. We're sitting at 20. That ain't enough. I'm hungry and I'm greedy today. I need some likes. All right. 1st and 5 again? That doesn't seem right. Maybe there was a penalty that I missed. 1st and 5, it looks like. Malik Willis under center. Okay, now it's 2nd and 4. What the hell? Offset I. Play action. Boot to the left. Malik Willis is going to run. And he's got yards, and he gets hit pretty hard by the legs, but he's good. First down for the American team. Yeah, Malik Willis can run, and it looks like he's going to be one of those dual threat quarterbacks, you know, as he comes to the National Football League. Doesn't have the explosiveness of a Kyler Murray running the football, but certainly a guy that can make some plays, no doubt, with his legs. We got Gumball in here. I'm going to read your comment after this next play. A deuce heavy set with 2 tight ends. Hand off to the running back on the left side for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. The running back. Who was the running back there? Damian Pierce, it looks like, from Florida. Gumball says, how concerned are you about McBride's speed? I think it's not a big deal given his blocking, route running, and reliable hands, unless he's Jason Morrow 2.0, which I don't believe he is. We will see about his speed once we get to the scouting combine, the pro days, and things like that. I personally don't see it when I watch him on tape. He seems like a guy that plays fast. Shotgun formation, tight end and running back to the left, throw to the right. It's caught, but it was a little bit low for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. Malik Willis does seem to have a pretty strong arm, too. He got that ball out there a little low, but nothing terrible. Barely caught that. So, Gumball, to answer your question, I'm not real worried about it, to be honest with you, because he plays fast on the football field. And like you said, his route running, you know, very, very decent, at least at the minimum, very good route runner. And the hands are excellent for Trey McBride. All right, back to pass, scrambling around. He's going to get a first down running the football again. And he slides past the midfield mark. So they are marching. Malik Willis is doing his thing. John Hammond, don't mention Stone Hands Amaro. Oof. That was John Idzik, right? I think it was. If I'm wrong on that one, let me know. Vern says, okay, Willis is the top quarterback. We shall see. Another offset I formation. Tight end to the left. It's a handoff up the middle for a gain of about 1 to 2 yards there. Pretty inconsequential play there. Ugh. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Idzik. We're not going to make that this stream about Idzik for sure. Alrighty. We got another name in the chat, a brand new person. It's Mr. Rod. He says Tariq Woolen will be drafted in the 2nd round. Alrighty. Mr. Confidence. I like it. Shotgun formation, tight end to the right, running back to the right of the quarterback. Motions the running back to the left side. And it's a RPO. Interesting. So about a 4-yard gain there. And it's going to be 3rd down for the national team. Digital Prez, a Jets channel. This is a first. Greetings from SoCal. What's going on, dude? Welcome to the channel. Thanks for popping in here. Hope you enjoy the stream today. Hope you check out the content on the channel. We got a lot of Jets content if you're a Jets fan. So weird seeing both hash marks. Are they going by college or pro rules in this game? Don't know. That's a great question. They should go by pro rules, you would think, right? I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, it's 2nd and 18. Willis is back to pass, gets some pressure, rolls to the right, eludes a rusher, throws the ball away. So it's 2nd and 16. I do apologize. What's up, Chad? Good to see you, dude. I hope you join us for a Wednesday stream coming up here soon, Chad. I know you're a very busy guy, though, but I would love to have you back, even if it was just for 1 week. Daryl Sudol, he says, who do you want to draft for the Jets? Kyle Hamilton? Oh man, this is a tough conversation to have. Um, so very excellent football player. I'm of the mind though that I'm not sure I'm completely comfortable drafting Kyle Hamilton at 4. The safety position, and I know he's a very versatile player, but the safety position is not a crucial piece on a winning football team. Not trying to say that you can get away with crappy safeties by any means, but me personally, I would rather use a early draft pick on a left tackle, a an edge rusher, a wide receiver, quarterback, obviously. A corner would also be worthy of an early pick as well. Safety to me is just one that I'm not terribly comfortable with taking at the 4th overall pick. 3rd and 23, screen pass to the running back, and he slips and falls, gets about 5 to 6 yards, and they will punt. It's 4th and 23, so they will punt the football. Daryl, so to answer your question, if he falls to 10, which I don't think he will, but if he somehow drops to 10, I might become willing to have the conversation. But again, personally, I would take other positions, wide receiver, an offensive lineman, a cornerback. Those are the positions that I would consider at 4 and 10. Great question, though. Thank you for putting it in the chat. We got Wicked in here. It's been a while, Wicked. Punt returner just took the ball out of the end zone, which is a little bit bizarre, and got tackled inside the 5-yard line. Not a great mental decision there. Dumb question. Which team is the Jets coaching staff coaching? They are coaching the national team, and the offense for the national team is going on the field after this commercial break. Let's see here. Nick Dow, not too important of a position. Spend a 2nd round pick on a safety. And actually, Nick Dow, you're right. We did a mock draft just a couple of days ago, and there are some really good safeties in the early 2nd round. So if you're going to go safety, I would 100% prefer to do that in the 2nd or 3rd round. But there's just so many freaking needs on this team right now. I'm just really having a hard time rationalizing taking the safety so early. That's really the short and skinny of it. I respect Kyle Hamilton. I think he's going to be a really good pro. So what do you think? I guess that's my next question. What do you think, Daryl? Do you think that they should take him at 4? Do you think they should consider him at 10 if he slips? I'd be very, very interested to see what you have to say about that. Vern, he says, I'm on board with Hamilton at 4 if we get Carl Laftis at 10. This is going to be a wild off season because there's you can't go to any one or any group of people and get the same answer. Everybody's got such a different opinion on what's going to happen or what should happen. It's just fascinating to me. Kev Chada says picking Hamilton with a young cornerback safety units is like the blind leading the blind. Marcus Williams will elevate teammates. And if you don't know who Marcus Williams is, that's the safety for the New Orleans Saints. He very well could be a target for the New York Jets. I don't know for sure because I think he will be expensive. So it'll be interesting to see if Joe Douglas is willing to go spend some money on him. But yeah, I think you're right. Having a bunch of young guys, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd year guys out in that secondary could be a problem. But I will say, Kev Chada, we thought that our secondary was going to be utter trash this season. And they really did surprise. I mean, I know it wasn't a great unit, but imagine if we had had a better pass rush with these guys in the back end. I think that we would have been really surprising some people this past season. So another great question from Daryl again. Daryl, you are welcome here anytime. Throwing the questions in the chat is a very good thing. Keeps the conversation flowing and growing. You said, what about Ikem Ekwonu? Yeah, I think that a lot of fans are really, really high on him right now for the New York Jets at number 4 overall. I am still hopeful that Kayvon Thibodeau falls to number 4 overall. I think that there's a chance that that could happen. And if he does fall to number 4, it's a no-brainer. I'm taking Kayvon Thibodeau all day, every day. I don't know, though. Like, I know that making him the draft pick at 4 overall would probably be smart, but I would really love to see our team start to prioritize some of the other positions on the team. So maybe if they could potentially trade back from 4, if Kayvon and Aiden Hutchinson aren't available, that would be my preferred option. Okay, Kenny Pickett, a little screen pass to the left side. Nice run by the running back there. He got about 7-8 yards, but he had some tough yards there. That is Rachaad White from Arizona State, I believe. Nice catch, nice run for him. Let's see. Digital Prez, he says, MYJ, are you based in New York or on the East Coast? I am on the East Coast. I am not in New York. I was born in New York, born in Manhattan, and now I've been living in Maryland my whole life, actually. So I know that sounds kind of weird, a Jets fan online with a, living in Maryland. Rachaad White gets a carry. He is a tough little runner, isn't he? He only picks up about half a yard, but he had to go through some traffic there to get that half yard. So pretty nice run there. It's going to be 3rd and about 3. So yeah, there's your answer, Digital Prez. I live in Maryland, but I love the Jets. I've been loving them my whole life. So Rusty Spooner, he says, what's up, John? Gangrene fam, driving and watching while listening. Keep an eye on defensive tackle Travis Jones from Connecticut. Appreciate that, Rusty. Please drive safely. 3rd and 2, offset I. It's a play action boot to the left. Kenny Pickett throws, easy completion. And I believe that was to the Wisconsin tight end, Jake Ferguson. Am I right? Yes? Yeah, Jake Ferguson. 1st down. Nice looking play there. Kenny Pickett on the run was pretty cool. They are highlighting Trevor Penning right now. They've got a graphic up on the screen. Chance to be the earliest draft pick in University of Northern Illinois. Sorry, I can't talk. All right. Good to see you in the chat, Rusty. Appreciate you. We've got another heavy set here. 2 tight ends. Drops back. 3-step drop. Throws it to the wide receiver on the outside there for about 4-yard gain. I am trying to get the names of these players that are making the catches. It looks like that's Doubs, D-O-U-B-S. So that's a small school guy, it looks like. I'm a big Notre Dame guy. Would love Hamilton anywhere. I know, not a popular take. Listen, dude, that's the thing about any take in sports. Just because I don't necessarily want him early does not mean that you're the only one that wants him. All right, another I formation look here. Play action again. Kenny Pickett's going to go down. He gets sacked. Sacked by Western Kentucky. Malone. Looks like the defensive tackle. Western Kentucky. Nope, defensive end. My apologies. Yeah, he got right in there. Yeah, he held the ball a little bit, but he also had nobody open, it looks like, as well. So just trying to prevent a big mistake from happening. Tyler Brown, how high can Willis go? Who is Willis? Which Willis are we talking about? Are we talking about Malik Willis? I think that's who you're talking about. Dude, that's impossible to project. He can be a top 10 pick because teams that are thirsty for a quarterback, they will do some crazy things on draft day. All right, 3rd and 13. Looks like McBride just caught a pass, but it was well short of the sticks. It's going to be 4th down. It was a simple pattern. It looked like it was just an out route. And that's it. 4th down, 4th and 7. They will punt the football. So, Tyler, to answer your question, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say, can he go in the top 10? Definitely, because of those quarterback needy teams, but probably he shouldn't be going in the top 10. It would probably be better if he went like in the middle to late 1st round and went to a team that maybe has somebody ahead of him so he can sit and learn a little bit. The punt is in the air. It looks like a pretty good punt, actually. Angled toward the side. Really good punt. Angled toward the sideline. The punt returner catches it. Wow. Okay, breaking a bunch of tackles, but still goes down at the 6-yard line. Hell of a punt there by Stout. He really, really Angled that one perfectly toward the sideline. Pretty impressive punt there. Joe D is not paying a safety big money. We will cross that road when Hamilton's contract expires. That's the problem, Vern. That's another reason why I don't see it happening. I don't think Joe Douglas is willing to pay a top safety $18 to $20 million per year. I would be very, very surprised by that. Vern says, keep an eye on Cole Strange. Definitely going to have my eye on him. I've been hearing a lot about him. Nick Dow, he says, would the Jets coaching staff be smart to let Willis throw some touchdowns? Let his draft stock go up. So you're saying the Jets coaching staff on defense lets him have some touchdowns? That's a pretty funny idea. I think they're going to try and help Kenny Pickett have a great game, because maybe Kenny Pickett's that guy, you know? Maybe he's the one that slides up the draft boards and is one that people want to trade up for. Rusty Spooner says, how's running back Hassan Haskins doing? I haven't seen him yet. I don't think he's done anything quite yet. But I'm looking for him. He's one of my favorite players to complement Michael Carter in the 2022 season. We really need somebody that's a little bit of a hammer. I think that's a missing element on this team right now with Ty Johnson, Tevin Coleman if they bring him back, Michael Carter. None of these guys are power backs or going to get those tough yards. So, yeah, I'm keeping my eyes out on him for sure. You guys are doing a great job of loading up the comments. This is awesome. Makes my job very, very easy. These solo streams can be tricky because I'm talking a lot, and then sometimes when I don't have anything to say, it gets a little bit boring. But you're making me work over here, which is better. John Hammond says, taking Stingley would be a nightmare for me. Only played 10 games over the last 2 seasons. D. Milner 2.0. I do not disagree with you at all. As good as he was his freshman year, and he was outstanding, one of the top recruits, and just came onto the scene in the SEC and really kicked ass. But moving into his sophomore year and his junior year, struggled with injuries, and actually in his sophomore year wasn't as consistently as good either. So yeah, I'm not interested, and I don't think they're going to take Stingley in the 4th or the 10th overall pick. If they trade back beyond 10, maybe. But I'm not so sure that that's something that the Jets feel like they need to go after right now. One of my good buddies, James, who is also on the channel on our Wednesday show, he likes Ahmad Gardner. He likes Sauce. I'm not sure they end up taking him, though. Who's better, us or the Giants? Come on, man. Easy question. Yeah, it's the Jets right now because we are way better set up for the future. I know they just replaced their GM, their head coach. There's definitely some optimism there moving forward. But the Jets are a little bit further ahead than them in the rebuild. So for right now, I'm going to give you the answer of the New York Jets. Rusty Spooner says Leo Chanel as well. I got my eye out on Chad Muma. He's a guy I'm really high on. No spoilers here, but I do have a mock 3-round mock draft coming out tomorrow on the channel. And so he's one of my guys in that mock. Let's see here. 1st and 10, Willis under center, hands it off for a gain of 1 yard, and they had to fight for every one of those yards. Tough running right now, and the defenses are really stepping up right now. Let's see. A lot of you guys are asking me how you can watch the game. You can watch it on NFL Network. That's the only way to watch the game. So you got to go ahead and get yourself some NFL Network. Joe Grana, I thought the same thing. That was a really damn good punt. He really hit the hell out of it, obviously, but angled it perfectly toward the sideline. I was really, really impressed by that. Another run for very, very few yards. Robinson Jr. from Alabama gets about 2 yards there. Yeah, you're right. We need to chew him out a little bit. I need your help with this, Grant. We gotta let him know that this minimal effort that he's giving is not good enough. Tyler Brown, I have a video coming out next weekend about Elijah Moore, and I think you will really, really like that one quite a bit. Hope you tune in for that one. Let's see here. Another throw. It looks like there's going to be a penalty. I thought the guy caught it. That's why I held off from saying anything. Tolbert almost reeled it in, but there is a flag. It looks like it might be defensive pass interference. Okay, they called holding, so it's going to be first down. I was kind of hoping that they would keep the ball there. I wanted to see Malik Willis a little bit more. Not a bad throw, though. The ball was placed where it needed to be. Just could not get his hands on the football. Digital Prez, that's very unique, actually. You got a nice setup that makes your channel stand out, so I subscribed. You can find me at Hammer House YouTube. I moderate there. Nice, dude. Thanks for letting me know. And thank you for subscribing. I hope you check out some of the other videos on the channel. We have a lot of content right now on the channel, so appreciate it very much. Thanks for the compliments on the setup. Back to pass. Man, Malik is really, really good at avoiding the rush. He's avoided 2 or 3 sacks just on this one play. Throws it away. That's my big takeaway right now, and I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this in the chat. Malik Willis right now, I haven't really seen him have an opportunity to sit back in the pocket and throw it. But man, is he good at avoiding these rushers. They had free shots on him, and they couldn't get him. They couldn't hit him. We got almost 50 people in here. I need some more likes. I know that there are people out here watching me, listening to me. I want you to smack that like button really, really hard for me. Jet it up for me. Help this channel out a little bit. It would mean a lot to me. Vern. Pickett is not going to go in the first round. That's your prediction. It kind of reminds me of the draft where we had Geno Smith and a couple of other guys, and I don't think that year there was a single quarterback selected in the first round. It wouldn't completely shock me if we saw something similar this year, because there's just not a lot of top talent here in the quarterback position. It's just a fact. Take Booth or McDuffie in the second if one falls. No cornerbacks in round 1. I actually really like McCreary. Grant Root and I were talking about him, the Auburn cornerback. He feels like a Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh cornerback. He just feels like he would fit perfectly into what they want to do. So he's one of my favorites right now. If you have not checked him out, Vern, highly recommend it. I need to learn a little bit more about McDuffie. That's somebody that I have not learned quite enough about yet. Tyler Brown says that Treylon Burks is the best wide receiver in this class. There are so many people that are really, really high on this kid, and it's so perplexing because his draft stock, it's all over the place. It is nowhere to be found. Like it's no consistency. He's projected as a first-round pick, early first-round pick in some mocks, and then others he's falling all the way to the late first round, and it's hard to get a grip on where he really belongs. But there are people that 100% agree with you, and I'm one of them. I think that he's fantastic. I like Wilson and Burks very, very similarly, in regards to how much I like them. I'm still wondering about whether or not who the number 1 wide receiver in this class is. I'm still trying to figure that one out. It might end up being Burks, but I haven't made my final decision on that one yet. Wicked, would you be open for drafting whoever is the best kicker later in the rounds of the draft? No. And it's not because I'm opposed to kickers. I actually really do like the idea of drafting a kicker when you need one. But Eddie Pinheiro was really solid at the end of the year. And I think that if they're going to make a move for a kicker, they should probably do it, maybe in the undrafted free agent market, or just pick up a veteran to compete with Eddie. That's my personal twist on it. Is there a kicker that you like? If you do, I'd love to learn a little bit more about them. Tom Smith, he says, I think the Lions will take whoever the Jacksonville Jaguars do not take. I believe they take Kayvon. Don't say that. Don't say that. That's my guy. I want him so bad. Damn it. Sorry, I had to get up. It's getting a little cold in this room. So my setup, you see it every time you watch the channel. It's right next to our garage, so it gets a little bit chilly in this room, so I got to put the heat on for me. Tom Smith, you're probably right, by the way. I hope you know I'm just busting your chops there. I do want Kayvon to fall, but I don't expect him to be there. All right, shotgun formation, 2nd and 10, drops back, clean pocket, avoids. Man, he is really, he's really something. He scrambles for 2 yards. He made yet another person miss him. Stiff-armed the defender. Looks like there was a face mask that should have been called. I don't think the flag got thrown, though. So it's 3rd down unless there is a penalty, which there is not. There should have been, though. Grant Root, I appreciate that. That's why I love you, buddy, because that's my favorite pastime, giving Mike a real big pain in the ass, just being a big pain in the ass for him. Vern, I would love to have Chad on all of my streams, and I think that I would probably have him on every Wednesday, but the problem is he's actually taking college classes right now. He's working on another degree right now. He's trying to get his, I believe his master's, actually. And so he's just too busy right now. That's what he told me. He said, I'm too busy for you, bro. Can't do this anymore. So leave a little comment for him, and I'll try to send it his way. It'll make him feel good. That was Jackson III that missed, wasn't it? The sack, I think that's what you're talking about. I think so. I'm not sure. I didn't quite see the name. All right, shotgun formation, running back to the right, drops back to pass, clean pocket, but he is going to go down. He got sacked there. An Ohio State defender got him. Who is it? Trying to see the name. Smith, T. Smith. I'm going to watch him. He's standing up here from the edge position. Spin move and gets his hand on Malik Willis's ankle and knocks him down. That was a pretty tough play there. He was getting blocked up pretty hard. Oh my gosh. All right. Willis is pro ready, not forcing it. Yeah, that's one thing that I will give as a nod to any quarterback. Like, we always want them to get rid of the football, obviously, but if they're going to eat the sack and prevent, a really bad play from happening, I think that it's something that young quarterbacks don't always come into the NFL doing. So I hear you. It's going to be 4th and 14, yet another punt. Got to be honest with you, this Senior Bowl is real boring. There has not been a lot of plays that have been made offensively. It's very defensive so far. Willis's arm is legit. No, I'm not doubting it at all. I'm sure he does. And I'm looking forward to seeing him uncork one at a certain point in time, but he just hasn't had an opportunity to do that. Too much pass rush coming at him right now. The punt is away. It's a short kick, but it's going to bounce across midfield, and it's going to stop and die at about the 45-yard line for the national team, I believe. So people are all over the place right now. We got Michael Elias saying that Willis will be a top 10 pick. Daryl is saying a top 20 pick. This is why I'm real tentative on, how high will a quarterback go, because we just don't know what these teams are going to think of them. And we don't know, how thirsty they are and how eager they are to get up to go get them. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. And we might get an answer pretty soon. Those trade ups happen before the draft in most cases. So it won't be terribly long. All right, Kenny Pickett is in shotgun, 46-yard line, hands it off, up the middle. Absolutely nothing. 0 yards. 0 yards. Nothing. Baylor running back Smith. Tyler Brown says, I say he belongs around 15. If the Steelers want Willis, they may have to trade up for him, because there's going to be other teams too. There's going to be like the Commanders are going to be interested in a quarterback. The Saints could be interested in a quarterback. There's a lot of football teams. All right, shotgun formation, drops back to throw. Ooh, what a catch. There we go. Finally, criminy. All right, the South Dakota State wide receiver. It looks like Watson. He had to go really low for that ball, scooped it up, got his arms underneath, got up and ran with the ball. So to answer your question from earlier, Grant Rude, yes, they have to. I'm sorry, they are playing with NFL rules, it seems. They did not touch him down. He got up, he ran with the ball. So nice play. It was a really not very accurate throw by Kenny Pickett, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. That's where I'm at, man. I think McCreary is like a really, really good fit. If he fell to 35, I don't think he will, but if he did fall to 35, that's going to make that draft pick really, really hard because I think there's going to be some really good football players available at that spot. Let's see. Jets have 2 picks in the top 10. What's their biggest needs to address? Fantastic, BJ. Great question, dude. Excellent. So it's pretty easy for me to answer that. Edge, getting a pass rush going is critical for this team. So that's my number one need. If you're picking in the top 10, you should try to find yourself an edge pass rusher. The other one is I am almost psychotic and just obsessed with getting more weapons on this football team. And so a wide receiver at number 10 right now is my preferred method. Wide open in the flat, touchdown pass. It was a completely blown coverage. Smith, the Baylor running back, caught the ball on the right side. It was an easy throw, easy catch. The run just wide open. Wide open. I'm going to watch Kenny Pickett here. Good little throw. I mean, it really was just a simple throw there. BJ, what are your needs in the top 10? So we've got 2 picks, like you said. Who do you want, or what positions do you want in the top 10? I would love to hear what you have to say. Go ahead and throw that in the chat, and I will do my best to read it. I always state that Zach Wilson needs to scramble more and use his athleticism. I think that they will do that next year. I think that was definitely something that they want to do, and they started to do at the end of the year. I think that he was really focused on being the best quarterback that he could be and wasn't really playing freely and, just playing ball, basically. And so I do think that in year 2, I think we're going to see a pretty big uptick in his rushing. I don't know how many rushing yards he had last year, but it should be close to double. I really do believe that. He should be running the football way more. And not like Cam Newton or Josh Allen. We're not looking for him to take big hits, unnecessary hits, but get some yards, when there's nobody open on 3rd and 5, go ahead and run for 7 and get the first down. Be done with it. All right. This has been a lot of fun already. I think the end of the first quarter has already happened. They're going to kick the ball off right now. No, they already did. Man, I got to pay attention more. Just waiting to see what the clock says. How did Becton play this year? Tyler Brown, he was hurt. He ended the season in week 1, did not return. And there's definitely some wide speculation that he was out of shape, did not stay in shape even after the injury. Offset I formation again, drops back to pass. Malik Willis off his back foot throws a bomb, and it's nowhere near. Oh my God, they threw a penalty on that? Oh my gosh, they should totally pick that up. This was unless I missed it. Let me see here. Oh, okay, a little bit. Kobe Bryant just got a flag thrown on him, the cornerback from Cincinnati. He had his hands across his chest, and the wide receiver was trying to put his hands out for the football, even though it was like 3 or 4 yards away. So that was probably the right call. Kobe Bryant gets victimized there with the penalty. So Tyler Brown, to answer your question, he did not play well at all because he didn't play. His rookie year was outstanding, though. Grant Rude, you're pretty confident that a quarterback will go in the top 10 this year. It could be. It absolutely could be. And we've seen it happen before. Jake Locker with the Titans years ago was an early first-round pick. I think he was like 8th overall. So there's no doubt they can absolutely do that. All right. It is going to be shotgun formation, tight end to the left, running back to the right. They are inside the 35-yard line after that penalty. first down. They're going to throw more pressure. He steps up in the pocket, avoids all the rushers. He's running now. He's running toward the, oh my God, he's going to score? Wow. Malik Willis almost scored. Picked up a huge amount of yards there inside the 10-yard line. This guy is incredible at making defensive linemen miss him. That is easily the big takeaway in this game right now. It has nothing to do with the defensive players. It's all about Malik Willis and his ability to move in the pocket and avoid rushers. I am, on a scale of 1 to 10 being impressed, I'm at like a 9 right now. He is really, really good at that. Oh, impressive. Watson in the third all the way. Hold off on wide receiver until the third. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I guess it just depends on what they do in free agency and in the trade market. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Because if they go aggressive and get some weapons before the draft, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with waiting. Just makes me a little bit nervous if we haven't made any moves, though. Marcus the Entertainer with a really, really dope profile pic. He says, does Kayvon have Clowney concerns? That's a great question. Man, this is outstanding. Everybody that's in this chat, you get an A+ for your questions. I am a teacher, so A+. Great question. I don't know, like concerns in regards to like consistency from like year to year, like a character question concerns. I don't know. It's interesting that you drew the comparison though, because they were both going to be, you know, top 5 picks. Clowney was obviously in the top 5. I think he was even number 1 overall. I don't know. I don't think that I'm really concerned about Thibodeau, but I'm also not a scout. I haven't really seen anything in interviews that concerns me necessarily. You know, as far as I understand, his teammates really, really love him. So, I don't know. That's a really great question, though. I think Corral and Pickett will go top 10. Wow. Alan Farish, good to see you, dude. Thanks for stopping by. From the UK, my man. Great to have you. I think none of us know what the quarterback class is going to be like. Where are they going to go? I think we have an idea of what teams are going to select these quarterbacks, but where is the real big question. All right. BJ Williams with a question here. Or I'm sorry, he's responding to my question. He says, definitely agree on edge rusher. Hutchinson, Thibodeau probably are going to go 1-2, but I think there will be a good edge there for that first pick. Second, I'd say go for some depth at DB. I don't hate it. My guy James on the channel, he wants Ahmad Gardner at 10 overall. I think that would be a pretty good pick. I don't expect them to take him, but that would be a really, really nice pick for this defense and for this team. General Tso's chicken. Dude, how good is General Tso's chicken? When I go to get Chinese food, and it's the best. I used to be an orange chicken guy, and then I got turned on to General Tso's. It's the best. All right, off topic. It's not going to work in the NFL. Just look at Lamar Jackson. He's from the watch, but he's never going to win a Super Bowl because everybody knows how to stop them in the playoffs. They do it every year. Rashad White off the left side. I like the way he runs. 7 yards, 8 yards on first down. Nice run by him. Looks like we have a new quarterback in, Desmond Ridder from Cincinnati. Outstanding year last year, 65% completion rate, over 3,300 yards, 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. We've got an injured player on the field. Looks like a defensive player. Arkansas looked like. General Tso's chicken. So to answer your comment, I don't know if we can say that Lamar will never win a Super Bowl, but I do hear what you're saying, that in the playoffs, these scrambling quarterbacks, they get minimized and neutralized. We saw it with the Arizona Cardinals this year in the playoffs. They got their butts kicked badly in the playoffs by the Rams. So I don't know, though. We saw some really great quarterbacks in the past. Steve McNair, he went to the Super Bowl, almost won it. I'm trying to think if there's any other quarterbacks that were highly mobile that won a Super Bowl, but it's an interesting comment that you made. Willis is slippery. He reminds me of D. Savard, like a water beetle scooting across the water. This is true. He is extremely elusive. That's something I wasn't prepared to see today, and that's been my number one takeaway in this game. It's clear as day. He is really good at avoiding the rush. Is Reese's a top 10 candy? I mean, like Grant said, it's easily top 5. I think I would even put it in the top 3. Rashad White, man, he is a really tough runner. First down run, it looked like, on 2nd and 3 up the middle. I like what I see out of him. Ritter, they have a picture of his baby on the screen. Super cute baby girl. These kids are having babies so young. I was 32 when I had, or 34 when I had my daughter. Yes, Zachary Burner, excuse me. Give me more McBride. We've only seen him one time. Play action pass. Ritter throws it away. He had a guy right in his face. The pass is incomplete. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Ow. Shit. Yeah, Zachary Burner. I would love to see more McBride. I would love to see him get involved. They have not targeted him only but one time. So I'd like to see him get some more reps, more targets before the game is over. That's why these practices are actually more valuable than the games in a certain way, because you get to see these guys one-on-one versus these other, players. A little bit easier to get a good assessment. Rusty Spooner says, need these quarterbacks to do and look good. Yeah, I think we all agree there. Like, we want these quarterbacks to have a hell of a game. And right now, mine is Malik Willis. He has looked very, very good. Steven Crojo, he says, I'm calling it right now. Malik Willis is going to the New Orleans Saints. Could. They don't have Sean Payton there anymore. I was getting ready to say that they really liked, who's the quarterback they had that was running all that crazy stuff? Can't think of his name, but yeah, they could use Malik Willis like that early in his career. I don't know though. I think Washington football team. I think that the Commanders would be an interesting fit for him as well. They seem to want to run the football. We know that Ron Rivera really likes those mobile quarterbacks. That could be an interesting fit for the Commanders. Be ready for a big, strong rise in stock if his knee checks out. I think you're talking about a different player here. 3rd and 9 for the national team. Shotgun formation. Throws it down to the running back, and it's dropped by the Baylor running back. Hit him right in the belly, and he just could not pull it in. Did not try to use his hands to catch it. Tried to put his hands underneath the ball. So it's incomplete, and there will be yet another punt. General So's Chicken, he says, Mike Vick, Russell Wilson, Patrick. I don't know who Patrick is. And Lamar Jackson are the only successful running quarterbacks in 100 years of NFL history. I'm taking Kenny Pickett. What about Patrick Mahomes? I know that everybody, we all know him as the very, very good passer. Obviously, rocket arm, very accurate. But that dude runs around a lot. So I know he's not necessarily built and doesn't really play the exact same way as the guys you just mentioned. But I think quarterbacks that can run and that are mobile, I think it still has a place in the NFL. And I think it's going to have a place in the NFL for a long, long time, and maybe forever. Guys like Breeze, Manning, Tom Brady, all have retired. Phillip Rivers is gone. Ben Roethlisberger is gone. I think we're going to see the next breed of quarterback look a lot different than what we're used to. Justin Herbert's mobile. Joe Burrow, I think, is sneaky mobile and versatile in that regard. He can run with the football. Patrick Mahomes, Zach Wilson. I know that he's not there yet, but I think that's the new trend, is these dual threat quarterbacks, not necessarily mobile quarterbacks that run around like their heads are cut off, but guys that can do both. Sesame chicken, that's a good one too. I don't mind sesame chicken. My dad likes sesame chicken. I'm more General Tso's though. I gotta say, I'm being honest. So, would you take Spiller in the second round to supplement Carter? Short answer is no. And last year, there was a lot of conversation about wanting to take a running back early, maybe even to take Najee Harris or Travis Etienne at 23, I think is the pick we had. I wasn't on board with it. It was an attractive option, but no. I don't want to go off on a tangent here about running backs, but basically the position is devalued. You don't need to spend an early pick on a running back. Their careers are shorter than all other positions in the NFL. I am going to wait, and I'm going to take my running back in the similar range that we did with Michael Carter. Go ahead and get me a bruiser in the later rounds. My head bleeding? What in the hell? Give me that bruiser in the third or fourth round. I would like to see us target a running back in that range. So I know he's a really good football player, and you're not the only one asking about him. There's a lot of people who are pretty high on him. So no disrespect. I just wouldn't do it. Rusty Spooner, I got to be honest with you. Nakobe Dean is I'm a huge fan of him, and I was ready to take him number 10 overall after the college season ended. I just feel like he is such a good football player, good fit for what we want to do on defense, great leader, smart as hell. He's a must no matter what we do. He's going to be that guy, and I do agree. I think he's going to be a hell of a football player. I'm cooling on that a little bit, though, because there are some other good linebackers in the middle rounds, and I would prefer to get a weapon at 10 or maybe even a cornerback, to be honest with you. I don't know if a linebacker at 10 makes a ton of sense. If we trade back, and if we are to land Nakobe Dean in a trade back and we have even more picks than what we have, sign me up, buddy. And I won't disagree with you. Nakobe Dean is that dude for sure. All right. The American team takes the ball at the 26-yard line. Play action boot. It is right off the receiver's hands. That should have been caught. The UNC quarterback just threw that. And it's incomplete. Should have been a catch, though. I can see Pittsburgh trading up for Willis. No other quarterback. I don't know about that. They might be interested in Corral. They might be interested in Pickett as well. I don't know, though. I mean, to me, I think Malik Willis is an interesting guy because of his mobility. I think a lot of teams are going to really like that. Sam Howell is out there again. It's a handoff to the running back up the middle. And I believe that was Brian Robinson Jr. out of the shotgun. Took it about 9 or 10 yards. Now the game's a little bit more fun. Oh, my God. Rusty Spooner, I can't put your last comment up there, but it's a funny one. I'll tell you that. The Washington Commanders, I tried to defend it at first. I was like, it's kind of cool because it's the military aspect a little bit, but it's pretty terrible. I won't lie. Okay, we're going to have a false start on 3rd and 1. They jumped on the right side. NYBSMM5, good to have you in the chat. Looks like you are a military man. Happy to have you here, and thank you for your service. I just hope my Giants can DJ and draft Malik Willis and an O-lineman. So do you want to trade Daniel Jones? Is that what I'm hearing from you, buddy? I would love to hear what you have to say because the Giants have a lot of decisions to make. Oh, strip sack. Sam Howell is sacked. I will find out who sacked him. It was a really good pass rush on the edge there. Mafe, M-A-F-E. He got his hand around the edge there. Definitely a strip sack, no doubt. The ball popped up in the air. I thought they were going to recover it, but it looks like the American team recovered it. 4th down. Definitely a sack, though. Who's in at QB for both teams? Sam Howell was in for the American team. The national team, I'm pretty sure, is going to run out Ritter again from Cincinnati. Ball is caught at the 21-yard line. It's being returned. He's running off to the left sideline now. And he's picked up a lot of yards there. Tackled out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. It's going to be the national team's football. It looks like Willis is done for the day. We're not going to see him again. Is there anyone that you want from the Reese's Senior Bowl? Daryl, there are too many names to run off here. I want to see the defensive end from FSU. Jermaine Johnson. Sorry, my name wasn't coming to my head right away. Jermaine Johnson, I would love to see in a Jets uniform. Brian Robinson, we just mentioned him in the chat. We need a power running back, and I think he would be good at that. Hassan Reddick isn't technically playing in the game, but he was invited. I would love to have him. There's a bunch of DBs as well. Kirby Joseph is a name to watch out for. He's a safety, and he had a really, really big year for the Fighting Illinois. Really big season. 5 interceptions, bunch of pass breakups. Played really, really well. One of the biggest improvements from last year to this year. Definitely the award should go to him. NYBS, he says, yes, trade him or use him for the year and then let him go. We're not going to pick up that 5th-year option. The only way you're going to consider picking up that 5th-year option is if he comes in this year and just plays lights out and plays really good football. That's the only way I see that happening. But I'm with you. I think that the Giants might be better served, kind of like with what the Jets did. Just go ahead and move on from him, kind of like what they did with Sam Darnold. But I still think that I don't want to say there's still hope, but he had a lot of turnovers. It's similar to the Jets scenario, really. Too many turnovers by Daniel Jones, and it certainly looks like they might need to move on from him. I don't think there's any doubt about it. So, interesting comment from you. Alan, there is no link, buddy. It is NFL Network exclusively. You can only watch the game on NFL Network. I'm watching it on my tablet right now. I'm not watching it on the desktop here. Would you draft a kicker on day 3? We just talked about that, actually. It's a great question. So the problem here is I actually like Eddie Pinheiro. When we made the move, I did some research on him. In his entire career, which isn't a very long one, he has only missed a kick in 3 games. And every other game that he's played, he has made 100% of his kicks. So he's still young. And I think the Jets probably could re-sign him for a 1-year deal as kind of like, hey, if you have a really good year this year, we will consider re-signing you long-term. I think that's the better scenario. And I think that the question you're asking is a good one. Play action pass. Nice throw by Ritter there. He lofted that right over some linebackers, but in front of the cornerbacks and safeties. Pretty impressive pass there. It was to the outside. So pretty nice throw there for sure. So to get to your answer, we've needed a reliable kicker since Jason Myers. We allowed him to walk. They should not have allowed him to walk. I think they shouldn't allow Pinheiro to leave, and I think that it's smart to get him competition. We don't have a 7th-round pick right now. Broken tackle here by the running back from Baylor, picks up about 2 yards. We don't have a 7th-round pick, so if we're going to use a 6th-round pick on a kicker, I guess so. But I personally would rather not and just rather roll with Pinheiro. And Kev Chata, this is an interesting comment, and I have said it on our streams, our live streams. I like what I've seen from him. He does have an accurate leg, but his leg strength or the trajectory at which he kicks the football there's something amiss because you're right. His kicks are very low. It does feel like he might get some blocks in the NFL, or excuse me, if he continues to kick it that way in the NFL. Rashad White up the middle for 2 yards, I think. So you're not wrong, Kev Chata. I think that there's something that he needs to work on, but I think that as a kicker, he probably could strengthen his leg and certainly could work on the trajectory at which he is doing this. Has anyone tried messing around with PF draft simulators? There are some really good simulators out there. I use Pro Football Network's draft simulator. I really like it. But there's a lot of different kinds. I would just recommend you go online and just try them all out and see which one you like best. 3rd and 4, they handed off to Rashad White. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Rashad White. This is a name that I'm actually going to write down because he has run really hard. He's not dancing around. He's not hesitating. He's just finding the yards, pushing the pile, and doing a really nice job with his opportunities. He's making an impression on me personally, so I'm writing his name down. Rashad White looks good. Malik Willis has looked good as well. Been very impressed so far by the running game from them. I formation again. And there's a flag pre-snap. It looks like it might be a false start. So, Nick, to answer your question, I would recommend any of them and really just try out different ones. Find ones that you really like. I think that's the way to roll. Ritter looks good too. Yeah, he had that really nice throw just a few moments ago. I was pretty impressed by that. I want to see a little bit more from him though. Rusty Spooner, that is Rashad White, that running back that you're talking about. Up the middle, run with Rashad White, picks up about 5 to 7 yards on 1st and 15. Loving what I'm seeing from him. He looks like he could be a nice complement to Michael Carter right now. All right. We're up to 36 likes. We got about 40 plus people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button if you have not done so already. Got the game on for less than a UK pound. Nice, dude. That's good. So you found it online, I'm assuming. All right. Shotgun formation. Handoff to the running back. The Baylor running back. Oh, nice cut. 1st down run on 2nd and 10. He ran into the line, went to the left, and had a really quick little move there to avoid a tackler. Picks up the 1st down. They're showcasing a lineman right now from Central Michigan, I think. Nice little run there, though. Oh, from the NFL's website. Nice. I didn't even know you could do that. Rusty, I agree. Rashad White looks pretty good. Certainly somebody that I'm interested in right now as the complement for our boy Michael Carter. All right, 1st and 10. Looks like it might be a delay a game. Or is it a false start on an offensive lineman here? Delay a game. 5-yard penalty. It's going to be 1st and 15 yet again. McBride looked pretty good on that play. I have to keep an eye on him. I didn't even know he was on the field. All right. Nice. I got to cut my air off because it's getting a little toasty in here. I'll be right back. All right. Sweet. All right. Handoff again to the Baylor running back. He's tackled for no gain. And this dude is fired up. Texas A&M guy is fired up. All right, let's go back to the chat here. I had a question. Joe Campione says Sam Howell is going to fly up draft boards. That is going to be interesting to see these quarterbacks who do go up. I don't know if he's going to be a first-round pick, but I hear what you're saying, though. He's going to improve his stock as the offseason goes along here. I had a question from Daryl. And this is a question I'm going to ask the whole chat. So I'll answer it too, but I would like to hear what everybody thinks. Two tight ends. Ritter running around, avoids two rushers. Man, he's fast. Picks up about 8 yards on 2nd and 15. It was a play action. It was play action, and he rolls to the left to avoid the two rushers and picks up good yardage there. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, Haskins is opted out. He will not play. So go back to your question, Daryl. I'm going to go ahead and say my expectations, I expect the Jets to do what they said they were going to do on draft night, which was to help build him up and for him to not be the one counted on to save the whole team. So if the Jets hold up their bargain and they go out there and they draft a bunch of playmakers, they fix the tight end room, they add some offensive linemen in a free agent market and in the draft, they go get some wide receivers to help him, I think the expectations should be high. I don't there's no reason to not have high expectations. I had a video that I put out this morning, and I'll put the thumbnail up because I think it looks pretty. But I put a video out basically saying Zach Wilson, there should be high expectations for Zach Wilson in 2022 because we didn't draft him to be an okay quarterback. We drafted him the number 2 overall draft pick. We expect him to become eventually a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So Zach will do as good or better than Allen did in his second year. That would be a really big jump and a really good improvement. In Josh Allen's second year, and I'm doing this offhand, I'm pretty sure he had about 20 passing touchdowns, limited his interceptions down to, I think, 9, but still was kind of struggling a little bit with some of his accuracies. If we got that, if I could sign that right now, I would take that. And those would be reasonable expectations, I think, for him to do. He certainly can't go out there and struggle, to not only to get touchdowns, obviously, to score touchdowns, but also to move the football with some regularity, not having these drives get stalled out, 3 and outs constantly. Part of that is on him as the quarterback to make sure the offense operates at a high level. So me personally, I've got high expectations, but a lot of that is going to be predicated off of what the New York Jets do during the off season. Kohler, yep, the tight end from Charlie Kohler, Minnesota. I think that's it. Minnesota. I want to watch that play again, but I can't. Rusty Spooner says McBride and Kohler on the field at the same time now before the commercial break. Yeah, on these next couple of plays, why don't we as a group, all of us in this live stream right now, and again, if you're watching this, hit that like button. Iowa State, sorry. That's embarrassing. Thank you guys for correcting me without making me feel like a terrible person. So let's make sure on these next couple of plays that we watch the tight ends. I personally have not been keeping my eye on them, and I need to do that. So I'm keeping my eyes locked in on these tight ends. Daryl, I'm going to get your question as soon as I watch this play here. They are in the huddle right now. They're interviewing Malik Willis on the sideline. Let's see what he has to say. Let me turn this up. Talking about how they started out a little bit slow, but they're going to have, they're having fun. They're trying to improve. I think that's a pretty cool answer. All right, 3rd and 6 right now. Only one tight end on the field. Ritter escapes the pocket again because there's too much pressure. Gets hit going out of bounds. And looks like he's short 2 yards of the first down, so it will be 4th down. Vern says, man, I hope Zach is the guy. I'd be thrilled getting Willis at 10 if we needed a quarterback. Do you want any offense from the Reese's Senior Bowl? Yeah. Zion Johnson's a guard from Boston College that I'm super duper high on. McBride, the tight end. There's a bunch of tight ends. We just mentioned Charlie Kohler from Iowa State. The Nebraska tight end, Jake Ferguson, is also in this game. I would love to get a tight end like him. Jeremy Ruckert had a family member pass away. If that hadn't happened, he would have been playing in this game, and I'm really, really high on him. Trey McBride, really, really talented tight end. Very interested in him as well. Wide receiver Jahan Dotson is another attractive option as well, but really, really interesting prospects kind of everywhere. The Memphis wide receiver is a good mid-rounder. He's been targeted a lot in this game so far, it seems. The Tolbert kid, who I need to learn a little bit more about, has also looked pretty good. And again, somebody that they've been speaking a lot about. Yeah, Kev Chad, he kind of reminds me, and he looks a little bit like Marcus Mariota when he's on the field. He kind of plays like him too. He definitely has the speed, though. 18 miles per hour on his last run. That's pretty friggin' fast. And he's doing it on a football field. McBride is in the game, and he pushes his guy forward, and they get a first down on that run there. So it's going to be 1st and 10, and they are close to, if not already, in the red zone. Oh, Jahan Dotson did back out. I didn't know that. I wanted to see him too. I feel like he probably should have played in this game. He needs like as many opportunities as he can to be recognized, because I feel like he's one of those guys that's on the bubble for like late 1st, early 2nd round. There's a bunch of guys ahead of him, and I feel like he should have probably considered playing in the game. Rachaad White has been getting a ton of carries. The Baylor running back off the right side, 1st and 10. He gets a first down about 11 yards. It's going to be 1st and goal for the national. Yes, for the national team. Apologies. All right, let's see. I wish they'd show more of the damn game. Yeah, you mean like not as much of the commercials? Yeah, there's quite a bit of that. Usually guys opt out because their agent told them to based on feedback from NFL scouts. Interesting. Yeah, that's probably true too. I would just think as a guy who's sort of on that cusp of potentially being a late 1st, early 2nd, I would think that all the opportunities you could get would be beneficial. But hey, he is protecting himself by not playing the game. I think that's smart. You know, if you get hurt, that's a big, that could be a problem. So maybe he's playing it a little bit more safe, and I think that's totally fine and respectable. ASU Forks Up. What's up, Jonah? Good to have you in the stream. Thanks for joining us. I was kind of hoping to see Rachaad White get some of these goal line carries, but it looks like that Baylor running back might be the guy that they give the ball to here. He looks like he's pretty tough runner as well. Big long interview with Willis. Yeah, I didn't get to listen to it. Oh, I see. They were doing the game in the background. Gotcha. Tight end Ferguson, Wisconsin, is blocking very well. He also caught a nice ball for a first down earlier in the game, so I like what I've seen from him. That's the great thing about this tight end class, is there's really not just like 2 or 3 guys. There's a whole bunch of them. What's his name? Good God. Is it Little? I have to pull up the list. That's going to bother me. Let me pull up the list here, because that's going to drive me crazy. It's Likely, not Little. Isaiah Likely from, where is he from? Coastal Carolina. That's another guy that I'd like. We haven't even seen him in the game yet. Isaiah Likely is another one that would be interesting. He's not really as big as some of these other tight ends, but he definitely has the speed. And again, it's just like whatever. Pick your flavor, whatever you like. In this draft class, you can pretty much get any type of tight end that you want. So that's super attractive for us as Jets fans, because we need tight ends so badly. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the Shrine Bowl. I'm going to have to see if I can find that online somewhere and watch that one. Just got off work. Anyone know how Calvin Austin is doing? Had my eye on that dude. I have not seen him yet. But I'll be keeping my eye out for him. Jonah, thanks for the comment. Likely is not a blocker. Jets won't be looking. So I'm not going to disagree with you, but maybe a little bit I will. So I don't know him perfectly, and I won't pretend that I do, but I've read some things about him, and they actually suggested that he was used quite a bit as the main tight end blocking for Coastal Carolina. Maybe what you're saying, though, is that once he gets to the NFL level, he can't really be trusted as a blocker. And if that's the case, I can respect that. But even if we drafted Likely as our second tight end to be more of that field stretcher, I think that's a super attractive option. Another false start on the right side. It's going to back them up. They were at 2nd and goal with the 1. Thomas Cahill, it's on NFL Network. To watch the game, you got to go on NFL Network. This is just a watch party. We're just watching the game together and talking about the game. Hopefully you didn't think that you could watch it on the stream. Unfortunately, I wish I could do that. This is a great comment by you, Gumball. Yeah, I do too. Like, I don't know who it's going to be. Like, I have my guys that I really like. I really like Jeremy Ruckert a lot. I really like Trey McBride a lot. But there's a number of dudes out there, and if they find somebody that they really like and they feel really good about, I'm all in. I'm all in on that. CJ, the wide receiver class is so good. There's a lot of depth. I feel like it's not top heavy necessarily, kind of like with the some of these other wide receiver classes that we've seen in the past couple of years. But there's some really good wide receivers, as you mentioned. Oh, play action. Trey McBride, touchdown. Trey McBride gets a play action touchdown there. Pretty wide open there. Pretty easy reception. Pretty easy look for him. But McBride does get in the end zone there. Pretty cool for him. They're posing in the end zone. The national team, they're having a ball. They are having a ball. I'm going to watch the play again because they've got the all 22 up here. So he was on the left side. They motioned him to the right. Easy throw, easy catch. Again, that's the kind of play that you see a lot of NFL teams doing near the goal line, and he looks like he would be really good at it at the NFL level. So, yeah, I got to keep my eyes on Austin, the wide receiver from Memphis. Okie dokie. I will do that. All right, they are going for 2 because it's Ron Middleton, and he just does not give a you-know-what. Shotgun formation, Rashad. Whoa, they fumbled the ball. Rashad White picks it up. Holy God, does he? Oh, man. That would have been one of the craziest plays. So the ball was put into the belly of Rashad White, and then the ball got dropped. I don't know who's to blame on that one. Rashad White picked it up off the ground, almost got into the end zone, was tackled at the half-yard line there. That was pretty crazy. Oh, that was definitely on Ritter. I don't know what the hell he was doing there. Spin move, pushes the pile. That would have been bananas if he had scored there. Yeah, not a great job by Ritter there with ball security. Yeah, simple touchdown. Nothing crazy there. Like, we can be all excited because we really like McBride, but there was really not a whole lot there on that play. He was wide open. And they did a good job of getting him open, if you want to say. So Ron Middleton didn't give a you-know-what. It's 13-0. There's 1 minute and 54 seconds left in the first half. Sam Howell is back out on the field, and they are going to try to get in the end zone, I would imagine. Quick pass to the right, caught, 4-yard gain, and they're going no huddle here. Yeah, Vern, I just noticed that myself. So they kicked it off to begin the game, and I guess they'll do the same thing in the second half, but no other kickoffs otherwise. Quick pass again to the Tennessee wide receiver there. Sam Howell running the no-huddle offense here. 1 minute and 20 seconds left. 1st and 10. Drops back to pass. There's immediate pass rush. He avoids the rush. Did he catch that? I don't think he did. What are they calling that? A catch? I think he had to have both feet down. It looked like he had one. Let's see here. No way. That's 100% incomplete. I don't even think he had a single foot down. The foot that came down was out of bounds. Can they challenge plays? That was Jalen Tolbert, by the way, the wide receiver. It wasn't his fault. It was just thrown too far to the outside. Dude, I would love the double dip on tight ends. Drops back to pass, quick throw, thrown a little bit too hard. The running back could not handle it. The ball goes way up in the air. It falls incomplete. I'm sure that they would like to Vern, but I think the idea here is they're trying to keep them safe, and some of the big hits can happen on special teams. So I'm guessing that's what they're thinking. Try to keep these guys healthy. Alrighty, we got Sam Howell back to throw again. He's looking left. He fires to the right. Quick pass. Caught short of the first down. It's going to be 3rd and 2 with about a minute left in the first half. The clock is running. 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Looks right. Avoids the rush. Runs the football. And he's going to get out of bounds inside the 30-yard line with about 40 seconds left. And they still have one timeout. So they're doing a nice job. He is doing a nice job. Sam Howell on this drive, commanding the offense and running the no huddle, eluding pass rushers, and, getting some easy completions. Nothing crazy here. These throws that he's making are not, they're not all world passes, I'll say. 1st and 10, back to throw. He was looking right all the way, throws it short, caught to Tolbert yet again. They're going to have to call a timeout. They call a timeout, I think, with 28 seconds left. It was short of the first down, I believe. Rusty Spooner, that's exactly 100% what I said as well. He does look exactly like him. And he kind of looks like him when he throws the football, too, which is pretty strange. But he does. He looks exactly like Baker Mayfield, if you ask me. Random question I'm going to ask you, Grant Rude. You might be a little bit thrown off by this. Does my sound, like the sound of my voice, does it sound any different to you than other videos or streams? I'll look for that answer in the chat. There's a reason why I'm asking, but if you don't mind answering it, I would appreciate it. Let's see. 42 likes on this stream. I really appreciate it, guys. Means a lot. If you haven't hit the like button right now, would really appreciate you go ahead and hit that. And consider subscribing if you are new to the channel. We've got 2nd and 1 at the 20-yard line. Back to throw. Throws it short and incomplete to the right sideline. It's going to be 3rd and 1 with 23 seconds left. Tinny. I need you to describe what tinny means. Like bad? Vern says, same as usual. Let me know what it sounds like. When you say tinny, do you mean like hollow? Vibrating? I need answers. We need Ruckert or McBride. He's going to go down. Sacked on 3rd and 1. They're going to probably not get a field goal off here because they called their timeout. So they might try to run another play here. But he was sacked. Trying to find out who sacked him. Oh, they are going to line up to kick it. And they did. They got it off. And he missed it. Missed it wide right. They had to rush him to get him out there. But it's missed. So it's going to be 13-0 to end the half. The national team is up right now. So there you go. There's the first half of the Senior Bowl. Yeah, good sack for sure. And in general, it was a pretty interesting first half. It's like you're talking into a tin can. Yeah, kind of hollow with a higher pitch. A boomstick or cover on your mic should fix it. I have one on there. That's the thing. It maybe is too loud. Maybe that's the thing. I'm working on my audio. I don't know if the audio has been bad in the past necessarily, but I had somebody comment and say, love the video, get a mic. And I was like, dude, I have a mic. So I'm working on trying to repair it and make it a little bit crisper. Think cheap speakers, and that is tinny. I think you do a sound a little different, but it is tinny to me. A little duller maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really work on the sound for sure. There's no doubt about it. Don't want it to sound that way. I want it to sound smooth and I want it to sound crisp. Let me see if I can turn down the gain. I turned it down a little bit. Let's see if maybe the gain going down helps at all. John Hammond, thank you for the comment. Sounds fine to me. I appreciate that. I'm working on it. The audio is a work in progress. I got the comment, and of course I like overthought myself. I was like, what's going on here? And I checked it out. So I'm going to be doing some tests over the next couple of days. I would like to get the audio a little bit more clean. NYBS, though I'm sure you do Jets games, I will subscribe. Hey, listen, NYBS, we are going to, or I'm going to live stream the Jets Giants preseason game, kind of like the same scenario that we're doing right here. I know that's forever away, but hopefully you'll join me for that in a few months and we can watch that Jets Giants preseason game. Ron Middleton just spoke. He looks like an NFL coach. Somebody needs to give him a chance. Ron Middleton is making the most of his opportunities, isn't he? The opportunity that he had last season to coach the Jets when Robert Saleh was out because of COVID. Also head coaching the Senior Bowl. Love the fact that Robert Saleh did that. It's really, really cool. Detroit coaching staff definitely didn't take this as seriously as we did. We are smacking them all around. Yeah, and if you talk to people around the NFL and if you look online and you listen to how they describe the way that the coaching staffs approached the practices and the game, they said that the Jets staff was infinitely higher in energy and urgency. They really are taking it very, very seriously. So it's pretty interesting to say the least. Let's see. Give him a tight end to work with. No worries, Alan. I was asking because I am trying to improve it, if that makes any sense. So not a big deal. We'll work on it and continue it as we go. Rusty Spooner says, I want our staff to stick around for at least 4 more years minimum, but that's highly unlikely, FML. Let's see here. So I still think that they really like Ulbrich, Jeff Ulbrich. I think that they believe in him. I think Robert Saleh believes in him. And there were a lot of people calling for him to lose his job. And I was pretty confident all along that they were never going to do that. I just feel like the guy knows how to coach. He really helped the linebackers in Atlanta to get the most out of those guys. And then when he took over as the DC in the middle of the season for the Falcons, there was a noticeable difference in the performance of their defense. He knows how to coach. He certainly needs to get better. I think that that's the case with everybody. You know, everybody can always improve, kind of like with me and my sound. But in all seriousness, I like Ulbrich for the long term. I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I don't think he's on anybody's maps right now to become a head coach. Hopefully he does a good enough job helping this defense to get in the right direction next season that he's not even considered to lose his job. And then also Mike LaFleur. I feel like Mike LaFleur, there's a lot of people talking about him potentially being like a head coach candidate at some point. The only way that's going to happen, and again, I'm all for this, the only way that's going to happen is if the New York Jets and Zach Wilson just go off and they go ballistic. So I personally don't see that happening next season. But man, if LaFleur gets a job, we should be celebrating because that means something went really, really well for the offense. So I hear what you're saying, though. We want to keep continuity. We want to have continuity. So it'll be interesting to see to say the least, over the next couple of years. That jazz flute, I saw it too, Grant Rude. That person was blowing the hell out of it. They really emphatically tell her I said hello. If you guys are watching, let me know. I would love to know that. Maybe Ellie could come down. That would be fun. Let's see who we got here. Talk to Matt O'Leary. What do I want to talk to him for? No, I'm just kidding. Talk to Matt O'Leary. When he first started, his audio was terrible. I remember he bought a new mic and nothing changed. Then he figured out his settings were wonky. Now his audio is great, in my opinion. I might just go ahead and do that, Grant Rude, because I have a really good mic. I have a Blue Yeti, which is like widely recognized as a fantastic microphone. So I might just go ahead and reach out to him, and I'll let him know that you told me to do so. I've reached out to Matt O'Leary. They're all very receptive to questions and things like that, so I don't have any doubts that he would help me out if I asked him. Let's see. Let's do a wager. Second half, guess which tight end gets more catches. If you lose, you get a tramp stamp tattoo. Oh, Lord. Well, here's the problem. I don't know which tight ends are going to see the field the most. I'm going to go with Likely. Isaiah Likely. I think he'll get on the field in the second half. He's my guy. Put him down for 3 receptions, 38 yards. I hate Mike LaFleur, but I love Mike LaBooth. You said it best, buddy. When he got in that booth, he became a mad scientist and went right to work. I mean, my goodness. Cade Otton, yep. Cade Otton would be another good candidate for the second half. I'm going with Mr. Likely, though. I think he's going to do some special things. He's going to prove Grant Rude wrong, me right. And that's always fun. Let's see. Probably don't want to tell him I told you to talk to him. Oh, well, I guess I would have said I would have said one of my viewers told me to talk to you. I won't give him your name, though. Unless you want me to. I don't really care, to be perfectly honest with you. But I appreciate you letting me know that, though, seriously, because it seems like I'm really tech savvy, and I do work hard to do my best with the technological stuff, but I'm still learning every time I turn the computer on. I'm still learning new tricks and new tips. So I'm sure he could help me. There's no doubt. I want to see Jake Ferguson get more pass work. Very impressed with his blocking. The Wisconsin tight end has looked good in the first half, no doubt. Rick Fisher, thanks for the special stream. Thank you for attending the special stream, dude. That's what this is all about, man. I love to, and I've said this a million times, I love to talk to Jets fans, love to talk to football fans. This is what it's all about, man. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't get an opportunity to do stuff like this very often just because of my schedule and my family. So being able to sit down for a little bit and talk football with you guys is definitely a ton of fun. I am not going to tell Green Bean that. Vern. Green Bean is a really, really nice dude. And he's had me on his show. I've had him on my show. I really, really like Green Bean. I really respect him a lot. Maybe you guys had some beef, though, and if you did, I do apologize. All right, Gumball says, Calabrese the one who would become OC if LaFleur became a head coach? That's another thing that makes me not worry so much about losing LaFleur if he did become a head coach, because that's the way you want it to work. You want to be able to hire within so that you're not having to reestablish, a new philosophy, a new scheme. So that's my perfect scenario, is that we have somebody learning. Man, these band what do we call marching band? These marching band people are funky. Get it. Hopping around, playing their instruments. I love this. This is good. If I was out on that field, I'd be doing the worm. So anyway, long story short, Gumball, that's the short answer. I think that that would be the scenario, and I think that they would just try to hire within. I think that's the best way to do it. NFL Network is screwing you. That sucks. Do you have the channel? If you have the channel, they should not be screwing you. And if that's the case, you should absolutely call whoever your provider is and curse them out left and right, up and down. Rusty Spooner, did you hear that Bill, in all seriousness, might hire Gase as OC to replace McDaniels? Can't make it up. I guess his high school team won a game or two. I hope you realize, and maybe you do, maybe you don't, that that's actually not true. He didn't actually coach high school football. There is a Jets Twitter account, NYJ Matt, and he puts stuff out there all the time about Adam Gase and basically makes it up. And he made up a report that he got hired by Lincoln High, and he also put out a report that teams were interested. The Patriots would be interested, I think, that he said, in hiring Adam Gase. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. But there have been some serious, like, TV and radio businesses that have read his Twitter posts and read it as, like, real news. So it's interesting to think that maybe it's NYJ Matt again, causing the world to be very confused. Another great name, Middleton as OC. I'm down. I love Middleton's attitude. I love that he's not scared. I really like Ron Middleton. I think the team really likes him too, and I think that really matters. So I'm on board with that, man. Hire within. I think that's the way to go. That's the way it should be. I feel like that's the way it's always should have been. If your head coach is retained but you lose your coordinators, you should absolutely be looking to hire within. I think that's the best way to do it. Rusty Spooner, I'm mad at you because it seems like you're not on Twitter. And if you're not on Twitter, man, you got to get on that. Twitter is great for sports talk and for having a good time because to me there's a lot of funny stuff on Twitter. It would help Gase improve his personality. I feel like Gase would benefit from going to the Patriots. I don't think they'll actually hire him. I think there'd be a lot of backlash with that type of hiring, but it would be good for his career because right now he's not getting a whole lot of sniffs his way. The teams are not interested in hiring Adam Gase. Strong at quarterback. Okay, cool. Strong. Cool. Falele going first round. That dude is a mammoth. He's bigger than Mekhi Becton, which is kind of hard to believe that somebody could be that big. All right, handoff. I think that was to Rachaad White. He gets no gain on 3rd and 2. It's going to be 4th down. If I know Ron Middleton, he might go for it here. It was a really high snap there on that play. Super high. Okay, they are not going for it. It looks like Strange was the one with the high snap. Yeah, I just saw that too. Yeah, it looks like it. The Rutgers wide receiver definitely had some juice in his legs for sure. I want guys that can make big plays, and he seems like one of those dudes. The ball is caught inside the 5-yard line, and so that's where the American team will go. They'll take the ball next. Alrighty, Rusty Spooner says, "Good job, fam. Got to call them chomos though. They did take it down. They didn't take down the Spanish word yet. Tell us a story. You want me to tell you a story? You're going to have to be way more specific. I have plenty of stories. Are we talking Jets story? Are we talking a work story, a college story, a kid's, like when I was growing up story? If that's what you're looking for, Michael, I am happy to provide, but I have got to be told a little bit more specifics. Mike Vo, how many minutes left? It's early third quarter. If I had to guess, probably about 12 minutes in third quarter, maybe 13. Still a lot of game left, though. This punter. We need to look at dumping man, possibly. Yeah, that punter, he knocked the crap out of the ball earlier in the game. I remember that punt where he angled it toward the sideline. Yeah, really, really interesting. Michael Elias, I'm still waiting. What kind of story are we doing? What kind of story time is this? Alan Farish, I was accused. Yes, yes, no worries. We are not judging you. Oh my goodness. Well, I have to say this has been a lot of fun. I'm not sure we'll finish the whole game with the stream. I'm gonna have to go to the bathroom here pretty soon, I think. I've enjoyed this though. It's been a lot of fun. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in, hanging out with me. We will be live on Wednesday. I will be having hopefully DJ Bieneme of the Daily News on the show for just a short while. He told me he'd be good to go, and so far he is looking like he's going to be on the show for at least the 30 minutes. So he'll be joining us. James from Jets X Factor will also be joining us on Wednesday. And Mike will be there, of course, because that's what he does best. He shows up. Man looked good before he joined the Jets. I know, right? Isn't that the funniest thing with Braden Mann? He was an outstanding kicker at Texas A&M. He was the best punter in college when he was at Texas A&M. Appreciate it, Michael. If you change your mind and you want a story, you let me know, buddy. Happy to provide. Yes, it is an interesting lineup. So DJ, whatever you want to say about him, some people don't like him. They think that he rubs them the wrong way or whatever. I actually think that he means well. I think that he likes joking around on Twitter. People seem to think that he likes to rile up Jets fans. Well, probably a little bit. I'm sure he enjoys doing that, but he's a pretty good reporter, and I feel like he gives his honest opinions. And so that's why I'm having him on the show. I think he'll be able to give us, some decent perspective on these players in the Senior Bowl. And that's really what the conversation is going to be when he comes on, is what did he see? What were his takeaways? What players did he watch at practice? Because that's the other thing. He got to watch the practice a little bit more closely than all of us. So I'm going to be picking his brain and asking him a lot of questions about these prospects. All right, Sam Howell is still the quarterback. False start, it looks like. Pre-snap penalty here. They're already backed up, and they're going to be backed up even more. They're going to be at the 2.5-yard line. He does talk about anime a lot. That is true. I haven't seen him talk a lot about rappers, but maybe he does. I'm not sure. Again, at the end of the day, he seems like a pretty genuine, decent guy. So I'm okay with him coming on the show, even though I know we don't like the New York beat necessarily. All right, it's a handoff here. Ooh, good pop there by the running back. Who is that? That's Damian Pierce, number 27. Lowered his shoulder into a defender, pushed him back a couple of more yards. Let's watch this again. Pop. Nice. If he had lowered himself a little bit more, he might have been able to get out of that tackle. Chad Muma is on the field, by the way, one of my favorites. I'm going to be watching him on this play right now. Chad Muma, let's see you, buddy. Okay, he plays good defense there, contains the left side of the defense, but was not involved in the play. Are you saying Kobe Bryant, the cornerback? If he did, I did not see that. That sucks for him. Hopefully he's okay. If Morstead is available, I would do that myself. Morstead looked really, really good last year for us. All right. 3rd and 2, drops back to pass, immediate pass rush. He's brought down for a sack. He tried to climb the pocket, but got sacked by the Oklahoma defensive lineman Winfrey. So it's 4th down again for the American team, and they are again punting from their own side of the field. Defensively, this national team is just pounding the American team. Really bad. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to go ahead and say this is probably the end for us. If you have any more questions or comments, I'll read them out, and then I will bid you a good farewell. I did have a question from Rick Fisher earlier, so I will answer your question, Rick. Thoughts on the prospects so far? So right away, big spin move on the punt return. Looks like there's another flag on the play. The big takeaways, or the players that I've watched that I've really liked so far, were Malik Willis, the quarterback. He was dynamite in making defenders miss. He constantly was avoiding the rush. Was really impressed by that. Sam Howell did a really nice job of getting his team in position to score points before the half. He looked pretty calm, cool, and collected in the 2-minute drill. And then the running back, Rashad White from Arizona State. He has not had a lot of big running lanes, but he's made the most of his opportunities, and he's pushed the pile. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to try my best to make a post-game Senior Bowl reaction video. I'm not sure if I'll get to it, but again, thank you guys so very much. Go Jets. Hope you all have a great weekend. There will be another video that posts tomorrow. And for the kicks of it all, I am going to put it up on the screen because I'm real excited about this one. I think it's going to be fun. It's a 3-round mock draft, and you will get to watch that one tomorrow morning. Anyways, go Jets. Thank you guys so much. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Have a great day. Go Jets. See you guys next time. Peace.